Welcome, welcome, welcome once again to Words Have Power with Teresa Hawley-Howard. I'm so excited to bring you another fabulous author, another book for you to read, and another summer program that I know you are going to really want to put this on your summer reading list. Welcome to the show and tell us about yourself.
Hi, Teresa, and thank you so much for inviting me to your show. I'm honored to be here. I am Millie Lee. I am an integrative cardiologist, a yoga teacher, and now a new author. So super excited about that. Sharing a little bit about myself to lead to where I am today. I started out my journey as a traditional cardiologist, but even before that, I just kind of want to put in that I am a native New Yorker. And I say that because I think when you're born in New York, you're born with a special gene, a warrior gene that kind of gives you that little toughness that you need. And I was blessed to have parents that encouraged me as a woman to do anything in a man's world. And sort of what led me down the medical career. I wanted to be a doctor and specifically a cardiologist, and fought hard to get to where I was. In fact, I was the first female interventional cardiologist at Columbia Presbyterian in New York, which is sort of an advanced training in that subspecialty beyond the regular cardiology training. And so it was a great honor, but also a tremendous responsibility to take that role as that first female interventional cardiologist there. And I went on to practice traditional cardiology and interventional cardiology using sort of standard practices, medications, and putting in procedure after procedure. And what I learned pretty quickly is that despite all of these advanced technologies and great medications, that the patients really weren't getting back to their best wellness that they could have. And I quickly learned that heart disease is really a lifestyle disease that could be easily prevented and reversed. But I wasn't really seeing those results practicing the way I was trained to practice. And during that time, for my own mental and emotional and physical health, I took up yoga. And that was really a game changer for me, a life changer for me. I loved it so much that I became a yoga teacher. And that's when that moment really changed my life, where I knew I had to blend these two worlds, blend the science of Western medicine, but also the lifestyle practices that yoga taught me, because it teaches you so much more than becoming more flexible. In fact, that was the last thing for me to change. It taught me how to live in this world, about relationships with myself, with others, with my higher power. And I wanted to share that with my patients. But the traditional practice, conventional medicine today, really doesn't allow us to spend time with our patients, to get to the root cause of their issues. So I decided to kind of led me to where I am today, practicing an integrative cardiology practice where I spend time with my patients and blend in mostly lifestyle practices. But I really wanted to share this information with as many people as possible, which is what led me and inspired me to write this book, Your Heart is in Your Hands, which is really about taking... Excuse me?
I love that title.
Thank you. So do I. So do I. And I think I hope it really sends the message that we have the control of our heart and our health in our hands. So we can take it back. We need doctors. I hope people continue to need me, but we're really here to guide people on the right path, to create that space for them so that they can heal themselves. We all have that power within ourselves. And that's really the message that I want to send out to people, because heart disease is absolutely preventable. A lot of the risk factors that are traditionally noted for heart disease, even those are reversible and preventable with simple lifestyle choices. So I do talk about, I created a model called the Heart Matrix in the book that really goes upstream to the root causes of heart disease and these risk factors, things that are part of our life, like stress and inflammation and our guts. These are really the things that are driving all of not just heart disease, but a lot of chronic disease.
I think that's true. I have lupus and rheumatoid arthritis. And for years, my doctor would just prescribe a new pill to go with the new symptom. And then I would maybe need a pill to counteract what that pill was doing. So, maybe I would have some side effects. So like I'd have nausea. So they prescribed something for nausea. But when I discovered yoga and meditation, it was such a game changer, because for once I was in the driver's seat. I got to choose what I did and the things, and simple lifestyle changes, like the things that you put into your body as far as diet is concerned, do so much. For me, it was gluten. Gluten was my enemy. And so, so much that you can change yourself that you do not have to have the prescriptions. I'm down to 3 because I'm diabetic, so that the insulin's never going to go away. But the thing is that you can make such great choices if you are given the information to make those choices. Because I'll be honest, I thought yoga was a religion. I mean, it's just like, oh no, I'm not going to put that little Buddha thing in my window and do this thing. But, because I didn't know. But I had a friend who did it, and she was like, just come with me. We lived at the lake. And so she was like, come with me down to the lake and I'll just show you some moves. It'll help. And it was for the flexibility that I started, because the rheumatoid arthritis had started to seize up my joints. It was hard to get up and down off the chair. It was, if I sat in the car for too long, it was difficult to get out of the car and walk and stand upright, because the arthritis is in my hips. And so, I was thinking that I'll only be 49 this year. And I was thinking at that time, I was almost 40. And I was thinking at 40, I'm going to be in a wheelchair. I see this coming, because it's so difficult now just to move. What's it going to be like? I was in my 30s. What's it going to be like when I'm really old? If I can't move at 35, what's it going to be like at 60 and 70?
Exactly. Wow, Teresa, that story is so inspiring, and exactly what I have seen in my life of yoga. And I too went to it for flexibility. I was running at the time. And so I went there purely for physical, and almost immediately I walked out with, all right, this is different. There's something different. In yoga, we call it the chikitsa, which is the secret medicine in yoga. But we learned that there's a lot more to just the physical component, and that and a lot of people do believe that it is a religion, but we know that it really is just a practice. It's a lifestyle. It's a way of living and looking at the world, I believe.
I think so too. I really think it's just a tool that you can use in all the other arsenal of tools that you have. So tell us about the book. Where can we get it? When are you coming out?
Thank you. Well, I'm super excited. It's actually just 2 weeks away. So the book launch is on June 13th, Saturday, June 13th. It will be available on Amazon. We're actually running a special promotion that day, and maybe for the next day for a special rate of $1 to get that book into as many hands as we can. This is, for me, not about the money. It's really about getting the message out to as many people as I can. Like you said, information is power. When they know the information, then they can take the control back into their own hands. And there are a lot of useful tips that I've put in the book that you can pick and choose. Like you said, you pick from the toolbox which tools work for you.
Right.
Maybe it's meditation, maybe it's a certain kind of exercise, figuring out what foods work for you. So there are a lot of suggestions in there, and I hope that they will empower many people to take control of their heart health.
And tell our listeners how they can connect with you.
Oh, sure. Please follow along on Facebook and social and Instagram at Dr. Millie Lee. I will be sharing more information about the book launch and when it will be available both on Amazon and hard copy to follow. And my website is millieleemd.com.
Thank you so much for being on the show and sharing with us your book, and we look forward to your launch and to supporting you.
Thank you so very much. It was a pleasure to be on your show.
Thank you. Thank y'all for listening to Words Have Power. This is Teresa Hawley-Howard. Remember to subscribe so you don't miss an episode. And remember, June 13th is the day. So go and get the book that day. Just $1, so you can't beat that deal.